Hello, this is a video that I wanted to do about elbow balances. So I always confuse it with shoulder because it uses so much of the shoulder, strength wise and mobility wise. So first of all, I'd like to show you what the prerequisites are for this pose. One of which is, let me see, I've got my strap here. So you need to be able to have nice flexible shoulders. So somehow to test this, you get or to at least practice this, you get a band, a yoga strap or a belt or whatever you've got at home. Hold each end of it and take your arms up to over your head. And if this is comfortable, keep pushing, like push your shoulders up and keep pushing. See if you can go all the way back behind yourself till the strap comes down to your waistline, touches your waist, and then come forward again. So this is nice flexibility to have and will help you get into the pose. The next thing that helps with your shoulder flexibility is to take the strap behind your back and pull it down. So try and grab your hands behind your back like this, but the strap's going to help if you can't quite get there. So you're going to pull down at the back and try and bring this elbow up over your head. You'll see in the pose that you need this to be straight, so the angle between here and so the shoulders shouldn't be bending. Otherwise, you're gonna have to compensate with your back at some point, like your upper thoracic spine, in order to get into the position. So it's much more comfortable if you have this flexibility in your back. I'll drop the strap a second and show you. You're going to need quite a lot of shoulder flexibility on obviously both arms. So that's another warm-up that you can do, for this pose. The other thing is you're going to need a tight core. So I'll show you a couple of moves that they're going to help the core. We've got boat position in yoga, and also plank. Plank's going to help the core and the shoulders. So I'll show you the boat first of all. It's quite loud here. I'm in a body somewhere in Ville, outdoors. So there's a motorway quite close by. Watch what I do. I'm just going to do boat a couple of times. You want to hold it at the top in the whole position for as long as you can hold your breath. So I'm going to inhale, come up into the position and hold until I've got no breath left, and then I'm going to lay back down again. So that's the timing, if you can't hear me. First of all, we're going to come up to sitting, so bring your back up so you can feel your sitting bones. Your feet come up to either here on the mat, so that the feet here are the same angle as the legs here are the same angle as the mat, or you can stretch the legs out straight. Another thing you can do is hold the back of your legs to try and hold that up. That's going to be a bit easier for the core. So you can see there that it's not easy to get up into the pose quickly, but by all means take your time, bring your legs up to parallel to the mat, and hold the back of your knees, and then gently let go of one arm and then the other arm, and then you'll feel a nice strong, it goes through your back and everything, so all through the midline. And also the thighs, the quads are pulling tight to keep into that position. The other thing I said was about the plank, which I've got another video on. So for this workout, for this pose, we're just going to warm up the shoulders with some push-ups. Push-ups, the hands should be about shoulder width apart, and make sure your body's straight at all times. We don't want any sagging or moving around through the midline. That's the whole point. It's not just a shoulder warm up, it's for your core as well. So I want you to go down with attention into your midline, so in your belly button. I want your belly button pulling up, and as you lower down, keep it tight, and don't lose that straight line through your body from your shoulders all the way to your heels. Then if you struggle to do this straight, I'd rather, instead of doing these kind of weird push up with the body first and then the hips follow, I'd rather you then check out the other video that I have, which explains how to make push-ups easier. You're gonna take them to a higher level, so a kitchen worktop or a chair or a side of a bed, and that's going to help you be able to perform the push-up with a straight body. So I'd rather, whichever angle you're at for your push-up, it needs to be straight, because then you're learning the right movements. You can drop to your knees in the middle of a big yoga class. It's often easier to drop to your knees than find a kitchen worktop to hold on to, especially when you're going through a flow. But when you're doing this at home, always practice with a straight back and not from your knees, okay? With a straight body. So I'll show you a few. We're going to do probably 10 push-ups with the elbows tracking the side of the body. So you can see how that was quite slow, just warming up a bit myself, and also how quickly they fatigue. So I was starting to feel a wobble in my core doing that, so I had to really focus on keeping my body straight. Okay, so we want to be going upside down. So the first things we're going to do with this pose is you're going to practice headstands. You're going to, excuse me, I'll just move that out of the way. You're going to practice headstands. You're going to practice getting upside down however you can. So if you're comfortable doing headstands, then that's awesome. If you're okay on your elbows in a headstand, so the normal headstand's got your two hands on the floor and your head. The other one is one where you wrap your head, your hands around your head. That's kind of a step towards the shoulder balance. You're using the whole of your arm to balance, and you'll find it much easier to control the back and forwards than if it was just your hands. Of course, your hands come out a bit farther, so they both offer different benefits. So you're going to practice headstands as much as you can, and you're going to warm up for this, we want to get into what's called the dolphin pose, which is like it's a downward dog, but on the elbows. I'll take my glasses off now. So, downward dog, we know, looks like this, and dolphin pose is like this. You're going to take one leg and do a three-legged dolphin, and this is how we start to get up into the shoulder to the elbow balance. So from dolphin, one leg, so there I just showed you how to just to get into the dolphin, three-legged dolphin, like we do when we do three-legged dog, and then you're going to kick up little bunny hops with your back foot. That's going to help you try and tip the balance over. Now I recommend, if you've never done this before, to put a wall in front of you, or a tree or anything that's going to stop you from falling all the way over, because that could be dangerous. Or get a partner to help you, to spot you, so that your feet aren't going to go too far over should you kick. But it's much easier kick than in the handstand. You've got less body weight pushing all the way over, there's less force in it, it's quite a lot more gentle, and you're closer to the ground, so there's a lot less to lose. However, and of course using the elbows, the forearms, you've got a lot more ability to balance. However, we don't want you to go over, it's not nice. You're much closer to the ground, so if your feet touch the ground when you're on your elbows, you have to bend your back a lot more than if you're on your hands. So there's a lot more to lose there as well. So we push up, and then I'm going to show you how to push up and stay there. I'm going to start with open legs, and then you'll see how I'm wobbling because it's not easy to hold. And each time I want you to realize that when I feel like I'm going forward, I'm pushing hard down into my hands. What you'll sometimes see is that my elbows almost come off the ground, and as I feel like I'm falling backwards, my hands almost come off the ground. So it's this pushing down of the hands and the elbows that's keeping me up there. So I'll show you a couple of attempts, I don't know how many attempts, and then I'll come back. Excellent demonstration of how to push too far and how much it kind of hurts your back when you go over, so don't do that. It's quite unlevel ground here, so I'm struggling a bit, that's my excuse. So at the end then, you'll have noticed I moved my legs. It was quite, I could have held it straight, but sometimes it's nice to move around as well. And also the moving around helps you balance. So as I did that kind of straddle position, I lost my core, I didn't concentrate on my core, and then you see that I fell backwards because I wasn't holding up enough. So go through the warm-up and try that pose out. I think it's absolutely awesome. I'm going to take this and sit down on the bench. It's a great pose to show off with, and it's exactly the type of pose we're going to be practicing and working on in the new Asana for Beach classes on a Thursday. So have fun, make sure you do it in the sun because we've been waiting for this all spring, and I'll see you later.